Good morning, everybody. It is Wednesday, January 12th, which makes it Tuesday, April 12th, 90 days out. Nobody wants to hear it. That's what we're here for. We're here to tell you all the things you don't want to hear. Question off the top of the charts is, do you already need a hard reset? 12 days in, are you already off track? And I ask that filled with love because I think a lot of people are like, you know what? Monday is going to be great. And we're talking about like Monday the 3rd. And then that turned into Monday the 10th, and I love that there was grace given because everybody was talking about doing 75 hard, and a bunch of people are doing 75 hard, and we put the start date for that to this Monday. Some of those people, one of those beautiful princesses is on screen with us, not you, Robert. I'll get to you later. Jason, up at the crack of stupid and off to the gym already, and so you've already got a gym session under your belt. So I'm just asking people if they had great intentions, if they went to business planning clinic, if they cobbled together a plan, if they built a vision board, are you just following that? And I feel like I'm pretty plugged in, and I know people are laughing as I say this. There's a book that I've tripped over a couple of quotes as of late, and I'm sure if you're a parent, your children have this because it is like, I won't say graphic novel, but it's a picture book, which I'm very excited.
Is it Everybody Poops?
No, but right? Did Michelle get that for you for the commode room?
Yes.
No, thank you. It is not Everybody Poops. I'm so heartbroken for the agent, the agent that joined us today for their seminal show, and they're like, I've heard so much about the Quick Start, and we've already checked the box that is excrement. Yes. Anyway,
like I'm the one that starts this stuff. Yeah. Okay. All right.
You were the first one to say poop. I might keep saying poop.
What is in that Yeti?
Right.
What's not in the Yeti?
Oh my Lord. Anyway, so there's a picture book that I saw a quote the other day, and then I started to investigate it. And I'm sure if you have short people at home, you might have a copy of this already. It is the boy, the mole, the fox, and the horse. Phenomenal.
Is this a joke? That's how a joke starts, right?
No, yeah. So a priest, a rabbi, and a chicken walk into a bar. No, that's not where I'm going.
Yeah.
Anyway, and I dug up an article. I've ordered copies because we have people here at the office who have short people, so I've ordered copies for them because I think, and this is not a business book. This is a feel-good book. All the quotes are going to make you feel better about everything in general. So there's an article that I also tracked down with some of the great lessons, seven life lessons from the boy and the mule and the fox and the horse. And it just asks all these questions. And the one quote that I saw somebody reference on social media, and the guy said the name of the book, and I'm like, what is that? And now I've tracked it down, and it makes sense. Throughout the book, they're traveling together, and they're just asking each other questions. And at one point, and I don't know what interaction this is because there's 4 people in the book, obviously, but it's basically, I can't see the path, the old adage, I can't see the forest for the trees. I can't see the path through the woods. And one of the characters says to the other character, can you see your next step? And the character says yes. And he says, well, just take that. And I think like that, and that's so simplistic. And at the same time, yes, stupid. And I'm saying this to me and everybody else, just take the next logical step. Like, what do you need to do today, right? Because we talk about the grand plans you had for 2022, and then you keep walking that back. What was the plan for the year? And then we talk about Brian Moran and his great book, The 12-Week Year, right? And chunking it down to quarters, right? Focus on the quarter, focus on the month, focus on the week, focus on the day, and focus on the morning. If you can win the morning, everything else will fall into place. So what is the logical next step for you this morning?
That perfectly brings it back around to Everybody Poops. Start that in the morning. And then my first step is always, as soon as I take that, it's generally right off the cliff. Oh, don't look at me like that. Just keep going.
Can somebody put this train back on the rails? Honest to God.
Nope.
You're making my point, Barbara. Like,
I know,
I'm the derailer. Yes. So anyway, it is the boy, the mole, the fox, and the horse. If you parents are probably like, yes, Timmy, I've seen that book. it's been out for a while, and I'm just surprised I haven't tripped over it yet, because I do love to read children's books because I get through them faster. And I just think if you're looking for your 75 hard book, it's not going to take you long to blow through it, but it's a great book. I think it's a desktop book. I think if you got short people in your life and you don't have it at the house, it's a book to grab for your kids. There's a whole bunch of stuff in there, but I thought that was apropos for today. I can't see the path through the trees. Can you see your next step? Yes, just take that. That needs to be where we're at. So in that spirit, we've got contracts. We're going to talk about that in a second. And for the rest of the day, I want to remind you that tomorrow Rob Daniel is back on at 11 o'clock to talk about FSBOs. He's doing one more class. Then next Thursday, we start First Step to Bold. You can go to boldportsmouth.com to sign up for that. That opportunity is waiting for you. That might be your next logical step. Jason, contracts, Maine, New Hampshire going on today. Is there something that popped up in the last 168 hours that we might be focusing on today for those two classes?
There's a lot of things that are popping up on less 168 hours. Today is going to be in Maine is going to be Karen Hamilton's going to be finishing up the purchase and sale agreement. New Hampshire last week, we did finish up the purchase and sale agreement. So what is next on the list, I do believe, is lead-based paint. Jen might touch on additional provisions. Actually, I think it's me today. Jen is in, I think, a board meeting for White Mountain Board of Realtors. So
okay.
I was at leadership late yesterday for NHAR, which was a small time if anybody wasn't there.
Always a pleasure.
Yeah, it's going to be. It wasn't much, no. The biggest thing that we're seeing right now is rent backs and how you guys are doing them. If you guys have to do rent backs and or renting the property back to the seller who is now going to be the tenant, we have to be very clear on how we do that. The one sentence clause in the PNS is getting us in trouble. We actually have some really good stuff from Hyde. If you guys ever are in a deal where you got to put something weird together, whether it's a rent back or suitable housing clause or whatever, reach out. We have stuff from Hyde that we have in the, that me and Jen have in the library that we don't give out every day because obviously we don't want it being used. Rent backs are something that we'd like to use as literally a last source. It's very dangerous letting somebody occupy a property or continue to occupy a property. Because in case anybody doesn't know, tenant law in both states, New Hampshire, Maine, and Mass, technically all three, weights very much towards the tenant, especially in wintertime. So things that can happen don't happen. So we have licensing agreements, which is a little different. It's kind of like what you do with a hotel room, right? You're not renting a hotel room. It's a licensing agreement. So if you don't pay for it, they can lock the door on you. So reach out if you guys have anything weird. We do have a bunch of stuff in there. It kind of blew my mind the minute I got on this side of the curtain and Jen was like, I need you to read this Google Doc. And I was like, there's a lot in there and some really good stuff in there. And she's like, yeah. So, it's over the 20 years Nate's been in business, with Stephen Hyde and everybody else that has helped us write some of these amazing clauses and true forms, that we do have, that you guys have access to if you give us a call.
Awesome. Just to remind everybody, everything that's on the slate for today, obviously you're here with us now. You are such a princess. You're making sure everyone knows that Rachel Xavier likes you better than me and Robert. Yes. You've got your
Rachel Xavier's team, right? So I have a Keller Williams hoodie that's pretty beat up, and I wear it around the office because sometimes it's a little cold in my office. So they gave me. You can't really see it, but it's like military.
You want to talk about a brisk office? Check in with Kaylee. She was wearing mittens and typing. Yeah.
I got a golf jacket from Bree Stevens' team. Wait till you see me in this thing in this golf. But I'll tell you right now, this thing's legit.
Okay. Hey Rachel, how are you? Double extra fat. Anyway, putting out my shameless plug. Yep.
Oh, and I get yelled at for talking poop.
You're talking about excrement before 8:45 in the morning, dude. Honest to really. All right, so just for the rest of today, after you escape here at 9 o'clock, if you're jumping into Ignite 2.0, we're doing Find Seller Leads. That class takes place. The link is right there in the news. And then, of course, 10 o'clock, if you're licensed in Maine, we'd love to see your face in contracts. That is an invite. And let's just pretend Nathan and JV and Jason are inviting you. It's an invite from the ownership to please, if you're licensed in Maine, join us for Maine. That's at kellertv.com. 11 o'clock is New Hampshire. 2 o'clock, of course, every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Robert is available at 2 o'clock at KW Tech TV for your bite-sized questions. He has bite-sized answers. If you need more help, if you are requiring surgery, you will set a separate time to join him for that. And, of course, today, KW, if you go to KW Connect today, the link is also in your morning mail, supporting your database during a crisis. And this is, I believe this is going to be with James Shaw. And that brings me to my next point, because I wanted to talk about this. I think people are certainly on the struggle bus with having the conversations just in general with their people. The number one answer on the board, Robert and Jason, is, well, I don't want to bother my friends. I appreciate that. I don't want to come across as salesy. Nobody does. I think right now, to show the power of your office and to just, sort of break into conversation with people. And this might not be perfect for the person you haven't talked to in a while. At the same time, who really cares? Because it's just a question and an offer of service. Is the care call behind fuel assistance and food assistance, right? Because if you're not thinking about it right now, Janina opened the door the other day. We have the ring on the garage and we have the ring on our front door. So she gets push notifications anytime anybody moves. So she sees her parents, going down the driveway, going on dog walks and stuff like that. But I noticed I got a push notification because there was constant motion at the front door. And I'm like, what's going on? And it was the front door. It was the storm door sort of blowing a little bit in the wind. Because when she opened it, that gear at the bottom got stuck. Mm-hmm. So the door was open. And my point being, with as cold as it is right now, I'm walking into the office this morning and I'm locking my car. And when that second click, the horn usually honks. My horn was like, yeah, yeah. The horn's just yeah.
Giving up.
Yeah, it wasn't a robust. You're locked and you're safe. It's like we're sort of close to crossroads. Anyway, so the horn barely worked. And people without fail are in the middle of the Great Resignation. There's people that are stepping away from work for a myriad of reasons. There are people that are getting let go. We don't know what people's employment looks like. We don't know what their finances look like. We don't know if they need food or fuel. So if you're doing care calls right now and you use the royal we of me and my friends at my office are checking on our friends to see if they know anybody who's food insecure or fuel insecure. Do you know anyone we can help? And
yesterday,
go ahead.
I was going to say, yesterday I just had $1,000 worth of fuel delivered, and it did not fill the tanks. So it is not only it's expensive, and it's hard to if somebody's struggling, it's definitely hard to get those tanks filled up. So
yep. Well, and even for with storms coming and stuff like that, I think a vast number of us at our market center probably have generators. If you have a hardwired generator, you've got tanks that have to be filled to make sure that works when you need them to work. So, for us to be self-aware of where we're at and just to make sure if you know anybody. And here's the thing, and this is why we have to be prepared to go into these calls with, I'll get you the information. Because we would normally, if Diana Kokoska was here, she would tell you, well, when they're saying, yes, I have somebody, I'll give them your information. This is where we want to do the hard press and be like, well, no, give me their information. I'll give them a call. When you're calling with a care call with the 2 bullet points of food insecure or fuel insecure, if Jason's friend Steve says, yeah, I do know somebody. Do you have the information? I'll get it to them. You don't want to press too hard because Steve might be talking about him. Mm-hmm. And we are truly making these calls today to nurture relationships with other humans. This is, and this is going to make certain people spin in their proverbial graves. This is not about setting an appointment today. If that happens, that's awesome. This is about you getting comfortable on the phone as a servant and making calls to check in with people to see who they know that you can help, you can serve. Because when they become transactional, they're going to remember the realtor that called them on January 12th that was trying to help people in their neighborhood. And that's the other thing. Well, I'd call Steve, but he lives in an executive neighborhood. He's in Newfields. Every house on that street has 2 decimal points in it. We still don't know what's going. People in those environments will hold up that curtain and hide behind it and not talk about any troubles they might be having, right? So, whether they're going to qualify for help or not, we don't know, but we can at least connect them with the resources. So don't get all tied up. This is where people get lost. And they're like, okay, so I need to make sure I have a food pantry in every zip code I'm calling. No, you need to make as many calls as possible. And then if you run into somebody like, yeah, I could use some help. Hey, you know what? I want to make sure I get you the right resource, and you can jump back into our Facebook page. Hey guys, I'm doing care calls today looking for people that are food insecure, fuel insecure. I found somebody in Springvale, Maine. I found somebody in Rochester, New Hampshire. What's the resource? You have 765 teammates. I bet we're going to find the resource. So don't overthink it. Don't think you need to have all this information readily available. As Jason Westcott would always say, as we say always, you're the source of the source. You're going to get them the details they need. And if they do say, can you get me the info? I'll pass it along. They might be talking about them. So don't push them on reaching out to the person directly. This is not about a sale today. This is about service. Gary says it all the time. Head down, heart up, service first, sales second. That's how you're going to build your sphere of influence, by working on your sphere. So I think that's it. We're going to let people go so they can do some deep knee bends. Jason, have a great day. Robert, have a great day. Don't forget, there's that information at the very top of the morning mail. There's a link to click about information about the life insurance policy that is being made available to everybody at KWCLM. Please fill that out so you can get invited into that. If you did order gear through the store that closed, I believe, on Sunday the 2nd, we probably should see delivery on that stuff by the end of the month. And I'm saying that's historically been the stretch, about 30 days. It might be a little bit more just because of everything going on. And when we do get that, we will be calling people, letting people know that it's either here to pick up, and then we'll do our best to get stuff to Jason's vehicle to go up to Meredith and so forth and so on. So you don't have to track it down unless you want to come here and track it down. Probably around the 1st of February, we'll have that stuff back in. And, of course, boldportsmouth.com. Bold. Did you get a hat?
Hoodie.
What did you get?
I got a hoodie and a new shirt, and I'm excited.
We're going to get you I'll get you a branded plunger, since that seems to be something you enjoy.
I was going to say, when we get done here, I'm going to go read my book.
Oh, God, help us all. We're so sorry. If you're enjoying breakfast or not enjoying breakfast, blame Robert. Yes. If you enjoyed the quick start today, thank Jason. If you didn't enjoy the quick start, blame Robert. I am a rose between two thorns today, ladies. What's that?
I am regular like this.
Oh, my
Either way, it's pink slips
God.
for everyone.
Once again,